see the money say the my social any impediful and it through obi bia any common yeah kind of back wash as you shall see you be on the review and the people will be to oye can I kasama from a Ghana man bring baby call you are wrong so that baby call and wait your way don't fear for Emma NBC and some of them machine and then look at it or swap for their good themselves because Hon Kofi Iddie Adams Honorable Apple you know what to say
well I mean is you have the chamber and the council within us and the about where was we are saying
when Kofi Adams Kofi Adams
Kofi Adams we introduction we never be there if you back home and say you be a child here schools from people teaching to professional teaching to out of school teaching. My child there was schools they say a Jumabo be saying Eka.
I don't remember what I see who be here. One you feel them, I won't wear in that. Whatever may have wine, so
we through my friend one come now. What she say, I've just been spokesperson in the free for any MP, this is now, yeah, because it's a and be youth organizer, deputy national youth organizer, and son of Kra, member deputy general secretary. KJB Kua even considers that fluent that Kofi Adams was born in Fatima, last of 7. So I'm last of 7. May share my education as Fatima nursery. Fatima in the theory, that's a municipal constituency. And the one we call the nursery. Me KG me call me primary education me junior secondary education and son me call Kaja Group Secretary for one time. Me free on and me call Bishop Hem. Bishop Hem then to at Sadell College. Sorry, the University of Ghana. Then me national service.
Oh yeah. KJ and master on song, a 7. Remember, Dawson and Mark was saying,
3 girls and 4 boys.
3 maybe so. 3 in my street, and I say, mix it.
Oh, I mix it. Bema, Oba, Bema.
Oh, okay, 20 by the men's and I call I am men's. Oh, yeah,
oh, they travel through life just like any other person at those times, and they work to make a living. Remember me and Yama Bibri, she was an industrious trader just like my grandma, buying stuff from Central region and going to sell in then Northern Volta and other areas. So the daughter continued with trading activities in this fell basically to not to be able to travel because age-wise they grew all these.
In school, when you now it's saying I feel we school about say okay so mama we are torn you papa no dey na school by say na na bra to say so no can you any come na this one so to say.
Well, those times still are very tough. Look, and we grew into the period that now in Yamama Edi Kakra. Samina Kra would be better. Now I that was the time. Samina would be better. Yatuni, don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch me. Now Samina would be better. Say, don't touch me. Now don't touch me. We are there now.
Don't touch it.
We touch you. I will be guy. But you have to laugh with it. And then Samina yede kube nechi ana abe nechi ya she na ya draini isuo no the red oil na se no the aka abum aye. That's how we make it soup. The jolly the woro in Myanmar. Those were the days that milk nearly new now who are fruffy fruiters and who go hospital now ya chew milk powder. Those times say I'm friend no fat. Now ya chew now ya kuku and these yellow corn powder until we are lucky na say my sister now Bishop and the big Osa now all of the na munyaji because I am on bed and if you be there
Papa was 7.
Oh
Tell you what
you say my late former boss no kai I say once they were campaigning about family planning. Some others were campaigning, move back, have the political advantage. What you said, those times, well, our parents also had a certain view and of number of children. They saw it as more of show of strength in the and then maybe you said, no, everybody wants a very small family because it's not about the numbers, but about what you put into them. But those days, our parents, as many as we were, they were quite industrious and willing to take us to every stage and every level. Oh, of course. We all took education very, very serious. And me, even as the last one also, I had a lot of advantage and be able to go to school very, very, very far because we didn't joke with education. Me kind those times, now you go to school morning and then afternoon. You break and then come home and then you go again. But luckily for us, now,
double track.
Now, well, it wasn't double track. It was same track, but Uko and Opa, no more breaking. No more beefy, Abba BDB, no more cycle, evening session. So it wasn't like
school you made you feel.
Well, that was the arrangement.
That is who be our community when they know.
Well, mostly yes, people walk quite long distances.
That way, junior high and I said senior high.
No, at all levels.
Oh, okay.
At all levels, you took a break. Even KG Brown, now you break. You break and then come back in the afternoon and come and close after around 5 thereabout. So that was when we went to bed. Me, because of your madam now, only Nikunu no we at your church for. She was responsible for the nursery and the KG combined. Madam Elizabeth, may her soul rest in perfect peace.
That and I'm sorry, and I know that 50.
Oh, I've always been, I must say that, Yaminti, I've been among the top 3 at all the time, from the various levels of my, first, and those times in the villages, one thing was very common. OBD transfer free, maybe a transfer and papa from Nkrayana, one of the big towns, National Bahosa. The person, for the first time, we will say, Nanipan knew Ababe first, but after some time, they went and settled, we the rightful people would take over. So we came in class 3. I knew I was quite good, but one man was transferred, he was these border guards. So I think it wasn't transferred. That was the time the border guard system was taken off and they were replaced with another arrangement. So he came home and then the man also so one joined our class. Then another girl also, I think he was also Omunana was also this same brother card, and also by. So they joined our class. So one was first, the other one was second, and I was third. I wasn't too happy. By the time we got to class 4, at least I managed and then came back to my first position. But year promotion, our class teacher did something. They left number 1. And well, I didn't know. Those times, they will call those who pass to the next stage at the end of the 3rd term. No one mommy did. Before Mr. Park, he came to inform me, he said, no, I was actually number one. The first. Anything I am, but he was just doing to see my reaction. We continued, and by God's grace, it's been like that all through. Well, it was, no, we were the very first batch of the new, your friend is saying, experimental system now, between the transition now, between the old and the new, and then the later new, and so on and so forth. So we were more like guinea pigs. Now we were guinea pigs kind of, who were used to try the new system. Not as it is now, but then we were transitioning into the new system. Where they came and taught us all the songs and children of the land, gather Corinth, Jesus has come to see the world. Only handle the two sweet hair, and the psychomotor scale shall flow. Children of the land, gather Corinth, Jesus has come to see the world. So the whole idea of the new system was to bring the psychomotor skills. And then STEME and so on and so forth. STEM education. We thought of it long ago. But just that cost one yet the necessary investment. And that is why today we are still talking about STEM. But that was the whole idea. That was the whole concept. Let me tell you, I learned how to do tablecloth. I could do crocheting, I could do all those things. No more chair, sewing, both with machine, even carpentry. This was in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
Carpentry, among the carpenters, they free come about a tray, how to basic kitchen tools and the rest. We learned how to do all these things. The electrical, the neutral, the this, the that, who connect here. So very practical things that we were doing. You took Emma. Actually, you done theory. Now we are trying to get back to STEM again, and I think that is good. I just pray and hope. Say, I feel
that is 80s, and it means in the 79 you were there.
Yes.
You saw 79.
Well,
we'll come to senior high now, but let's talk about 79. 79, 15.
I saw it as a young
15 May,
young boy.
15th May, do you remember what happened 79, 15th May?
I was a young boy, not so old. My old man even happened to be a victim of
the 15th May,
the 79, and even the 81. So somebody.
And after 79 came to 15th May was when yes, June 4th.
Yeah,
the Partijan
happened.
So
what I'm saying is that they were kind of like suspected to be. My dad was the outspoken type. You know, when you be on feel say on control, he wouldn't mind your position or better. So he always used to have issues with the elders at the palace. Sometimes they would even charge him. He says, so you pay. But what he's saying, you live to see that yes, and truly it's been happening.
I was so new. Something I will share my story. So many honorable Kofi Iddie Adams. Minister for Sports and Recreation. Then your man with the BS and the BS are not for recreation and sports. On a member of Pound for Boeing. So I feel no journey. I'm so subscribe to channel, YouTube channel, the Kofigo Media. Subscribe to Kofigo so not like no the comments about. Me know we can say open and we pop out to RFK and we pop out we dig up and say me production team pop up open we pop out the bay is open by RFK open the do it to us open it to open the do RFK open 0243 927392 what the bro me deliver baby I oh yeah e dey na e papa and now pe frame wow photo e wo mu ni ade abro oh yeah, for comment, you're not surprised with the frames, you know, and say you're not surprised here, I guess, in the frames, Hurricane production, also the deal. It's a feel I'm doing and I'll share. The guest, the Honorable Kofi Iddie Adams, yeah, member of Panel for Women, or say Minister for Youth and Minister for Sports and Recreation. Now, what's the
producers? No,
Go
yes, sure, sir, no pregobe sing. You have to organize I can go adhere Bakuma with me and Opa
and walk up to see.
I can introduce them to a lot of governments.
Yes, it's a doctor.
So, Opera, just let's start a competition of introducing to the best government. Now you go maybe I want to me about. In many towns, not just in Accra. I have to ask entries and then test. Don't forget. My late boss was not only buying gobe for the box, but already himself was also a good introducer.
Make 2008 campaign. Was it 2008 campaign?
Yeah, 2008.
Accra Academy. I saw no, we did your Gogalina, we didn't free your Gogalina. I remember when you was going to the Navy, 2008. So, from that age, that will be, now we didn't get GSS. Because of sad,
what was it even called? Me, I don't even remember.
Said I'm going to try O-level name.
Yeah, when I don't know to say him.
Senior high. The same region.
Yeah, the same.
So the same. It's like
at that time, not it was Volta region, of course, but Entimikon was the same district. School was also one of the schools that was transitioning from the experimental to now becoming a secondary technical. So we were the first batch to start that secondary technical in Entimikon first. Me go through first and maybe I did very well in my pre-secondary exams. I think I was about the best student in the district. Or at those times, they were not giving any awards or the rest. So I went there. Then subsequently now, my teacher back home of him said, no, with these results, considering what it is now, and my young family called Bishop Hero. So at that time, he said, Javon Nusufri Bikuma Oyeminana was the assistant headmaster for Bishop Hero College. And he obeyed Fina, Omodi results in the culture. So, no, but these results here, it's results are also.
But I continue, 83 now was senior high and now junior high.
Now was junior high.
Okay.
So, Omodi results in the culture, and they said, oh no, this is so good. And you're typing. At that time, to get a typewriter also was also another issue. Luckily, when I was back, so now I just come College of Education. I so perfect peace. Also, media resource in command on type. This side of the headmaster, I will become or stampede and I man. So straight away, he admitted me and I joined. But the interesting bit in the said, school now major said a year new school, and so well established that or say if you call a higher one. Because people now in Myanmar on one tray, there was our new school now my colleagues are more school can say them no crown, none of the so during the course of teaching us, Omuka issue, Omu raising topic, yeah, now my ready to be able to have answer ahead of time, and that kind of made one of our teachers there to give me a nickname, Gigantic. The gigantic name that they gave me was not because I was tall and big, but it was more because of my response to the questions and the issues that the way a manner was raising and answering questions in class. So it went quite well from there to the university. And the university too was quite interesting. Because I very university now we had just begun the democratic system, and Rebecca said those times it was quite tough to be okay. Let's leave that, and then for another day. And then na Rebecca. What I was saying.
Let's discuss with university days. And very all of the interns and on my story show, the appendix said something to motivate Hon Kofi Iddie do white people's teacher. Sorry, white people's teacher, but of 5 months, what we do, we say, we say, and the liberty so we can't have a portion actually. Then they see it.
Oh, well, things were quite tough those days. We were not too lucky to be part of the group for more any other opportunity of having chicks to go to the restaurant to go and eat for free and then the rest. At Yembreso, and I just say they introduce this academic facility user fee and residential facility user fee and the Mobrowa demonstration periods and those times. Our time, Newman, those times, were investing. Nook's presidency was not elected by amalgamation of university delegates from across. No, it was rotating.
Okay.
So KN, that time it was University of Science and Technology. It had been changed to KN University. So if this year University of Science and Technology has the Nook's presidency, now the next year now Legon. Then the third year now called UCC. Now called UCC. Winneba was not qualified. It was only these 3 universities that qualified to elect Nook's president. So it was rotating. UST, Legon, then UCC, then it goes to so Newman. From Newman, he came to Honorable Haruna Idrisu, University of Ghana, before he went to UCC, then in that order again. But each university had, of course, its SRC president. And I remember Elvis was the SRC president. Elvis Efiankra was the SRC president. I think after him, we went to one, I think Accra, we elected, I've forgotten his name. It's been a long time. Then these are our MP for the one who has also been very vocal, forgetting my own friend's names.
From the minority or the
oh, now he's not in parliament. He lost to the independent in Asante Achim, is it Central? Asante Achim Central.
To the to
the lawyer.
Oh, okay, a lawyer. Oh, referee. Olusutu. Okay. Olusutu. Okay now.
So then he also then became the. And interestingly at that time, we were not so partisan on campus. Okay. You could find someone who was maybe very typical NDC.
But were we doing the NDC then?
Yes, there was NDC, there was MPP. I remember from the days of Chancellor Oponche Kuku when he contested protested against Elvis. Chancellor was more like not more like he was MPP. He was actually late Professor Edubuani's more like I'll call it working on the students' front. And then we had Elvis, and even though University of Ghana then was generally in favor of what? The opposition, Elvis still won his elections. But Elvis also didn't come to, also it wasn't like an NDC, MPP kind of thing. At that time, the good thing then was that government or party that was in government didn't get involved in student elections. They allowed students to elect their leaders. Then government may come with its program to engage students. So it allowed students to elect the leaders. Middle program now called Brofo. Abino Ejaima Sukum Grano Eyi Penifua Ompe. Omuye Penifua Ompeni Via. Na Abaine Sukum Penifona School for Nankasa Ye Yuon. No what Nancy. No way to come as to Nia Ewo, a coin ben I ever said, ye fast soa a bay. That was how many very wonderful programs were birthed, including even the Get Fund a year in the later part of the 1990s. They established, I think we did it started from 1998, the conversation with the formation of Get Fund. The kind of 1995 demonstration,
I know
the Mobrowa demonstration. The first place we stopped was Parliament House. That time, no Parliament, no Mutinayo International Conference Center. We were not sitting at the current.
Now we are High Street one. Maybe a Supreme Court one.
Oh no, we free. Now this Fourth Republic here. No, city or International Conference Center. That was where they were sitting. We went there. Well, we presented a petition. If we want to say, Education Ministry. The Education Ministry, then late Arisoya, another great patriot. He was then the Education Minister. He had two deputies then. So, Mr. Honorable Harisoya decided, like, Ompi Mbedi petition. So we stayed there, we said no, it was the minister himself, and I himself, Ombedi petition. So at the time, the student leadership had agreed with Penifon said the deputies could pick the petition. I think for whatever reason, some vandals have climbed somewhere.
Vandals, what they?
And were observing the minister's office. Now, I think they have relocated the minister's office to another place because that used not to be the minister's office. But now vandals for so and I think Honorable Harisoya decided to shift the curtain to watch what was happening down. Now when he said now our unique feature the beard was so unique. So it was school my friend said he was there. So the information so we spent hours on end our education ministry, but finally, well, when these great leaders, so we knew how to manage this until we PHO, but finally the students gave up and then we presented the petition and we left. Our next point, now was called finance ministry. So for whatever reason, I'm sure they communicated with the finance minister said,
they're being here.
They're being on my friend on bar, our P. That's you. No, be here.
Like, yeah,
I know, better. So it could be a finance ministry. So first, they didn't want to allow us, we force open the gates and then enter. So we entered into the middle yard. That time we were running, government was running some programs, some Japanese program, and a number of Japanese officials, the SO ministry, who are no more some engagement before we arrived. We said, oh,
as long as
so the minister then also,
who was the minister?
Dr. Kofigo was then the finance minister, who later became Professor. So he, because Onosuna he was not a lecturer at the University of Ghana, so at least when the students that interaction is there. So Obedina so then the student said, or say, at again, I see, oh, you negotiate, I want to negotiate. So, what do we want? That student be a body figure, what he wants as allowance, what he wants as this, and then a loan, and the rest, be a body figure. So, you see,
we are not united.
We can't negotiate under this condition. So, you go. And I'll meet with your leaders for us to sort everything out. Well, he broke us. We realized that he had a point. But then we said, you to me negotiate with us. So we said, okay, we're giving them some time. And I think they ever go back to various campuses. One until they call cycle. Those times when you take over cycle, then Accra will come to a standstill. One Nkrumah cycle was not a mere ISA. So
that's all transport.
So when there as students, we take over that area. Now a police informing others between us. When the numbers started, they have to arrange buses.
I was there.
Bread. So we arrange buses. And now, buses maybe recorded. So why am I saying all this? At that time, Elvis, where the SRC leadership, Newman was the NUC's president from, but he didn't say, oh, maybe party and now this all of us move. And that's why I advise, say, look, say if it's all mine, you go in Padia, and the Amayon Semaya, you student politics in the lesson. It doesn't allow for the best to come out.
For the party interest.
Exactly. And it's a to me in those times when NDC was there, or more elections in the early days. Applying and our party are in front of him. Now we have that engagement.
That's how they was a team. The moment that political we will not
discussion. I say.
What was the issue you're discussing? Everybody now call you a teacher.
Oh, good, yes, me, but you say. Can I drive into my interview? The country was saying free KJB, but since I didn't free KJB, at least mature the book so that conform people at the time I taught in a disco, now I've become
also at this school. One man not trouble there. One man not trouble there.
My students there,
can mention their names today.
Oh,
what's your girlfriend?
Girlfriend, that means free one son. I didn't teach girlfriend. But a lot of my students have become great persons.
Maybe name a politician. Maybe a politician.
Oh, some are even in parliament. You don't want to parliament.
Oh, you're senior.
Oh, very guy. You don't want to
no.
Oh, there are quite a number of them, and some of them are doctors today. Some are.
How many are you? How many are you? I'd like to know with the students you don't better.
For Eastern region, the flow of class, Akwitia, MP.
Oh, okay.
And many other, yeah.
Oh, I'm here for staff.
I have quite a number of them that I've taught to today are great politicians. Some are medical doctors, some are doctors in the other sectors, senior lecturers, some are doing IT.
I don't know what
I'm so happy. Some of them, those times I remember who feel say I was hard on them, and it's the same that I'm still. But in it, almost say not me pure 17 and not me because I wouldn't spare you when parents everyone home to come and study. They are spending so much to give you the best. When they over home say say obey that be papa now why you say oh no you have a mind of your own different from we always make sure that we try to state this brand here Otto Nyoni I learned he was late speaker terrible chaka yeah it's one
but when we say compare me our boy
terrible chaka and then this is the other person Maestro Pele Neba Bakosoko and Rahim. Rahim was also one of the students of so we did quite well.
Okay, everybody and I said we did a commission share or rabbit or something maybe sana. I said the test was in the Pamon far away. What is other 2008 Ebra Professor Mos Ekobo John Muhammad and Professor Rollins was going for a Betimo Idrisu. So Professor Mos they gave Victor Smith a wrong time. Rollins got there and
this story has not been clearly told to the world.
Was it a test
message? Said, well, even before I come to the issue of
test message,
Mamika, the choice of running mate for the 2008 elections. Prior to 2006, Yebeko Congress, Legon Congress to elect the flag bearer. There were a number of considerations. In 2004, the choice of late President Rawlings as a running mate was John Mahama.
Okay.
The current president, His Excellency. Now, the party national executive, so SAT, conditions are His Excellency John Dramani Mahama every consideration because there were some factors that were added that it completely excluded him. So he could not have been considered in the 2004 elections. Yebeko for 2006 elections. Mikaipa not only Professor J.E. Mills, who later became, as he was then, who later became our president after the victory of the 2008 elections. So, your colleague, now you have to abandon only the process to announce the running mate, more on train. And according to President Rawlings, said a delay in the announcement of the running mate, a certain pressure was building up for consideration of a female other than a male that may come up. Now, a bar upper, it will affect us more